I just hated the way that I felt every day. I didn't have control of my thoughts, over my feelings. I just didn't like the way that I felt. Just being sad, angry, depressed. Just even going as far as taking 12 grams of mushrooms just to figure out who I was. And the questions kept coming up over and over. Who are you and what do you want? Who are you and what do you want? Who are you and what do you want? I couldn't answer that question. I just grew up in a household that was always just pressing you to be and do something else. Be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an engineer, be something that we want you to be. But meanwhile, I was just always growing up around fighting, a lot of anger, things being thrown around. I see my sister and my mom fist fight. I see my dad drink. I see him pack up. I see him leave the house. Just the poor ability to communicate and express themselves fully, to control their emotions. Just constantly being told what to do. And I just felt lost, confused, angry, sad. Shortly after my 16th birthday, my dad went out to the bank to go get some money so he could buy me a computer for my birthday gift. And I just remember playing handball in the court of my building in Flatbush. Ball rolls into this alley. And this alley is how we came home. This is where people threw out their trash from this 6-story building. Homeless people slept there, pissed there, and as the ball rolled down, I went to go get it. I saw my father laying down with groceries scattered around him, his head split open on the ground. The pillar of my life, the support, taken away. I didn't know how to deal with life. No one taught me how. And I watch everyone else around me crumble. So you just have to figure it out. But I still didn't know how to cope with the loss of a father and seeing everyone else around me lose it. Started smoking 4 blunts a day. Wake up, smoke a blunt. Have breakfast, smoke a blunt. Have lunch, smoke a blunt. Have dinner, smoke a blunt. Every day. I saw my father drink all the time to cope with his emotions, his frustration, and his anger, so I was going to cope in my own way. I ended up going to school for electrical engineering, but after 2 years of your core classes, I just realized engineering wasn't for me. I had no idea what it meant to be an engineer, but I just wanted to make my parents proud. I dropped out, I went for graphic design, I was working retail, and I was finally starting to ask myself the question of what did I want to do for a living? What was going to make me happy? I was on lunch break at work at the handball courts with some friends and a cousin who was showing off tattoos that they did on each other. It didn't even look that good. But I asked my cousin, I said, hey, would you let me tattoo you? He said, only if you got good. And I remember asking my brother, what advice would you have if I wanted to tattoo? He said, if you move to Las Vegas, I'll teach you how. And I struggled, but I put my head down, I studied, I did the work, I traveled the world, I did tattoo conventions, I won trophies, and I just remember this feeling that I just wanted to do things differently. The interactions with the clients, with the artists, the way that I wanted to work doing tattoos. I want to grow and thrive too, in my own way. And that was such a scary time for me because I knew I needed to have a conversation with my brother, my mentor, my father figure, the person who put me onto tattooing, my tattoo artist. And I was unsure, but I knew that I was going to bring up some news that was going to disappoint him. And that's when it all came crashing down, as I had to part ways with my brother. Through that, I ended up moving back to New York and to figure out what were the next steps in life. That was when I felt lost again. Didn't know how to move on. I was just disconnected from my wife, from my daughter, just being depressed, sad, angry, frustrated. I got into mushrooms, MDMA, ketamine. Well, what I realized was it just amplified all of that. It didn't help me solve anything. I still had to come back and deal with all of it by myself. That I had to step up and I was responsible for everything in my life.
I want to grow and thrive too.
Then we moved to Austin for a fresh start. Bright, open canvas, so much potential. We created Upside Tattoo, and I just remember what I envisioned was finally coming to life with these big, bright white walls, these textures, these plants. It was just so zen, so calm, so peaceful. It was me, and this was what I wanted to bring to tattooing. To be able to really connect with clients and with artists and to create in a way that wasn't possible for me before. I know what it's like to be lost, frustrated, angry, not sure of who you are. I've been there, I've walked that path. My purpose is to share my story to help people become the best version of themselves.